Hi everyone, it's Laura here, and in today's video I'm going to share with you how to create a quick and easy Christmas card using pattern paper and stamps by LDRS Creative. Pattern paper is a great resource when it comes to quick card making because it immediately adds a lot of detail and interest to your cards. The collection that I'm using today is the Christmas Cottage by LDRS Creative, which is absolutely beautiful. You can see I have an A2 rectangle, I have a strip, and then I have this beautiful frame that I created with two different dies. They are both part of the Practically Oval frame set, and I used the inner oval also to cut some Bristol Smooth cardstock that I will use for the background of my little scene. And I also combined it with the Over the Hues die set to create two hue sides. I'm going to do some quick ink blending on this panel to create a sky, and I went for some dark blues and black because I wanted the sky to be pretty dark. The rest of the card is quite dark with that pattern paper, so I wanted the sky to match the feel of the rest of the design. I also used whatever was left on my blending sponge to blend the hue sides and add a little bit of shading, and then I moved on and started working on my images. These are part of the Utterly Lovable stamp set by LDRS Creative, and I'm stamping them with Raven Hybrid ink. This ink, because of the hybrid formulation, can be used both with water-based and alcohol-based media, and today I decided to use some water-based markers. As you can see, instead of going with the markers directly to paper, I am scribbling them on my work surface, and then I'm using a water brush to pick up the pigment and then add it to the images. I was having a little bit of trouble with this water brush because there was way too much water going out and I couldn't control it very well, so afterwards I will end up using some colored pencils to get a little bit more contrast in my images. I skipped the coloring of the hat because I'm not going to use that in the final card, and while I finish my coloring I also wanted to let you know that today is the last day to take advantage of the LDRS Creative Black Friday sales, so if you're interested you will find more information and links in the description box down below. After I was done coloring my images, I die cut them with the coordinating dies and I started assembling my card. I am using the grid on my glass mat to align the paper strip with my card base. Again, the card base measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, so it's the size of my card. I then adhered the frame and I'm using some double-sided tape for that. I'm going to slightly overlap it with the pattern paper strip to create a little bit of interest in the design. There was a little bit of excess paper that I trimmed down with my guillotine trimmer, and then I could nest this oval here with my scene inside my oval frame for an inlaid die cut effect. Next, I adhered the images to the scene, and I also decided to add a few details and highlights with a white gel pen. And then the next step was to add a sentiment to this card. For that I used one of the greetings in the Spot On stamp set. I stamped it on some black cardstock with LDRS Creative white pigment ink. This ink works really great on colored cardstock, especially if the cardstock is a little bit porous. Before stamping the sentiment, I die cut my black cardstock using the same oval die that I used for my scene, so that when I tack it against the sky panel, I have a continuous border for my banner. I adhered it to my card front, and then as a finishing touch, I added some stars to the sky using a white Jelly Roll pen. I'm adding some smaller and some larger dots, and I'm also adding some little crosses that look like twinkling stars. I kept adding stars until I filled up the whole sky, and that finished off my card. And that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe for more card making and paper crafting inspiration. As always, thank you all so much for stopping by and have a great day.